Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second running of the World Sports Series here at the circuit, the Catalunya. We're here for what may be the final time this year on GPVWC, and well, it's been a good championship so far. It's going to be interesting to see what Spain can bring. My name is James Kirk, and alongside me, as always, I have Mr. Bradley Vanian, not only doing co-commentary, but on cameras as well. So, firstly, how are you today, sir?
Yeah, I'm quite good, and well, just looking at practice so far, we actually have a wet session, and it's actually the first time this season, so this should bring up a lot of surprises if this weather continues in qualifying and the two races today.
Yeah, it certainly is. I've seen a lot of drivers struggling, to say the least, and of course, with our Super Pole lap format in effect as it is, there's certainly going to be a lot of interesting events still to go on, as is actually the fact that we have quite a truncated grid today. 21 to 24 drivers or so I've only seen in the server, as opposed to our usual 30 or so. So, especially given the 15 to 20 car reverse grid that we're going to see in race 2, that could be almost the entire grid reverse, and there's certainly a few drivers who have been caught out, especially here. Not least some who've been drafted in at the last minute. Actually, we've still got people joining now as we speak. So hopefully we may have a couple more before we advance into the qualifying session. But yeah, I mean, just to go through a couple of the changes to the grid. In its slipstream, the luckless Glenn Guess has been replaced for at least this race by Thomas Jacobs. He has driven for United Races in Formula Challenge before. Looked to be struggling, so we'll just have to see how he can do in his WS debut here. We also have Gary Lennon, and I'm not sure what... I think he's with a new team.
That's
I think
with,
he's partnered...
Team Roxol.
Team Roxol, there we go. And I believe he's partnered with Matt Richards on that one, though Matt has not turned up. So, from what I've actually heard from you, Bradley, Gary has always really actually hooked up with this mod in particular. So, considering that he hasn't had much practice on the server, where do you think we should be seeing him in the big picture of things?
Well, I know for a fact that he has practiced quite a lot, but he's only just actually joined in practice as we just go into the Super Pole session. So obviously that will be a disadvantage to him. And I think he might struggle in the first qualifying session. Maybe I think a top 10 should be possible, especially with such a smaller grid. And I think in race 2 we'll be able to see his true pace.
Right, so 23 drivers. Not really the turnout we were hoping for, but we're going to have to deal with it. I have heard a car at the pit lights, and I believe that car is David Gaspers. I see David Gaspers making a move around the back of the garage. I'm going to see whether anyone is on track. No, Jake Cooper is, yeah. The first car out on track is Jake Cooper, and the crucial thing here is that there is no rain. So those who have practiced only in rain by joining late into the free practice session might be at a slight disadvantage with a wet setup. We weren't expecting rain for the race as such. There was an average chance, so yeah, we'll just have to see how all these drivers cope. It's Jake Cooper out first, ahead of Miles Dixon. Obviously, we saw David Gaspers going out in the background. But yeah, while these 2 and 3, and oh my goodness me, Miles Dixon just screamed me off into the background there. While these 2 go round, let's just take you through the top 5 drivers and constructors. So currently in the Drivers' Championship is Oscar Hardwick from Milk Racing Team, followed by Alex Cooper, as, oh dear, Paveloknovski's left the session, so not good there for Innovision. Yeah, Alex Cooper from Midnight is currently second, with Sean Stroud, who took his first win of the season last time out at Hungaroring for CSG. The Rocket Starter's currently in third. Can he progress even further this time round? Tom Parker, fast and consistent for the Simic team, really putting in good shifts as opposed to the slightly inconsistent Roy Schroten. Can he improve further on his results today? And Petter Kassa, who also took his first win on debut last time out at Hungaroring, he currently heads up 5th in the drivers. The constructors are Milk Racing first, Midnight second, CSG third, Simic fourth, and Target in 5th, which is actually a fair reflection of where their respective drivers are in the championship. And Paveloknovski's just rejoined, which is good to see. And we're going to go on board with Jake Cooper to take you around the circuit the Catalunya. Now, Jake Cooper has not been looking as impressive as... Oh, dearie me, got the final turn completely wrong. Not a great start. We've seen he's got great pace in World GT, but in WSS he has suffered a bit, and his first sector at least is going to be massively destroyed by that near spin. He locks up going to turn 1. Oh, dearie me.
The pressure that you can have sometimes in a Super Pole session is just... It's just incredible the amount of pressure you can have, and I think it's really showing here. You know, he would have lost a lot of time on that front straight with it being so long, especially for these Porsches, which aren't as quick as the open wheel cars which you usually see at GPVWC.
Yes, it's looking a bit cleaner, it must be said. Oh dear, squeaky voice. It's looking a bit cleaner from Jake Cooper as he is going round the second sector, but I fear that his lack of speed in comparison to others might see him outside the top 10, unfortunately. With a truncated grid, this is a real chance for people to get extra points, which they might not necessarily get on a fully packed night. And Jake Cooper, oh dearie me, looks like he's manhandling that car around the corner. Really not set up, and I must wonder whether he's trying and banking on a wet race session, because that car does not look like it's meant for those conditions.
Well, what else it could be is because for the last half an hour in the practice session, it's been wet. So now all of these drivers now got to adapt to new conditions. And actually, this might not turn out too badly for some of the drivers which joined quite late on in the practice session, because obviously they haven't had to, let's say, get used to the rainy conditions, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, kind of. What is clear, though, is that Jake Cooper has had a very scrappy lap, and he is nevertheless, though, going to post the provisional pole time of a 1 minute 48.7. Absolutely smashed out the park already by Roy Schroten for Simic. A 145.2 from the Dutchman. He'll be happy with that. And David Gassler slots in behind him, a 146.4. So already a lot of deviation. Miles Dixon there slots in a 149.5. And I'm just going to see who should we go on.
We have
with
Oscar
next.
Hardwick. Oscar Hardwick's only in the final corner, about to start his lap, I believe.
Excellent. So this is the championship leader as Alex Cooper goes into pole position. 144.7 there from Englishman. Oscar Hardwick's main championship rival at the moment. So these two are really going to want to try and get the most out of Spain. I think Ryan Gilmore's here, not sure. Well, Martin Palm's definitely not here. So Milk Racing Team at a disadvantage. A lot of pressure on Hardwick, though. He seems to be soaking up in this first sector as the time starts to come flying in now. But the boss has gone to third for Innovision, 145.6. We'll keep you updated with the top three as Hardwick goes round his lap, then turning into turn 4. Always tricky to get right, and dearie me, looks like he's absolutely abusing that curve, is Hardwick in the Milk Racing car, and washing out nice and wide. And then a heavy braking zone down into this tight, deceptive left-hander. You can't get on the power too early, otherwise you're going to find yourself in the gravel on the left. It seems like a pretty good lap so far from Hardwick, though, and you can definitely see the difference between his hooked-up car and the not-so-hooked-up car of Jake Cooper.
Something I'm surprised to see is actually the lack of space, which is beyond...
Oh, dear! Oh, no, he's lost it! Oh, no, he's gone! What has happened to Oscar Hardwick? He's absolutely... Oh, dearie me, and that might just be his chance of pole position gone and out the window. Alex Cooper will be jumping for joy.
There's no might about it. If you hit the wall and go, 50 metres off the track, it's pretty obvious that you're not going to get pole.
Well, this is certainly going to shake up the standings. I mean, obviously, even if Hardwick doesn't do well in race 1, we still have the 15 to 20 reverse grid for race 2, and of course that means the majority of the field at this rate will be reversed, so he still could do well if he doesn't do so well in race 1, but Oscar Hardwick will cross the line in what I presume will be the slowest time, and no, it's not. He actually does beat Pavel Loknowski with a 150.7 as opposed to his 151.5. But yeah, not too good at all there from the championship leader.
Regarding the reverse grid, I remember at the opening round at the Red Bull Ring where...
Oh, Ryan Gilmore's lost it on his lap as well! Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, oh my goodness me, track conditions really getting to some people here. Sorry to cut you off, but I mean, these are really experienced guys, and they're losing it as much as everyone else. Oh, and he's lost it again! What
Okay,
is going on with these drivers?
About Hardwick, at the opening round of the Red Bull Ring, he had a very good race one. He won. That's quite good, isn't it? And then he started near the back for, well, he started in the middle of the pack for race 2, but he managed to get through the field quite well. So with a shorter grid than previous rounds here, and I also think that it's quite easy to overtake here as well, especially in turn 1. He should be able to make his way up quite well. So he should be able to even get, a top 5 is quite likely.
Right, let's have a look at Gary Lennon, your man who might be able to usurp the standings. He's just starting his lap now, and a shout out to Ryan Gilmore for posting a time in the 2-minute mark. A 2-minute 35 from Ryan Gilmore. That's something. Let's see if Gary Lennon can do any better. Took turn 1 and turn 2 quite nicely, and he probably will have seen a lot of the championship contenders here today suffering in qualifying, and I mean this will be a perfect opportunity to really show what he can do and to really capitalise on everything that's going wrong for everyone else. When you come in at this stage of the season, where everyone's had a chance, 2 races to get up to speed, or 4 races even, if you go for individual races themselves. Gary Lennon should have been at a severe disadvantage, but hey, with so many people...
He's looking very smooth so far. He's hitting all the apexes, he's using tons of the track, and it just seems to be very smooth acceleration, very smooth steering. I can't really see much wrong until now on this lap. He misses the very tricky right-hander, which I hate with a passion.
Indeed. Just to update you, Sean Stroud for CSG. He's gone into P3, a 1:45.5 there from the Englishman. Currently 3rd in the standings, but from the looks of Gary Lennon's lap, I think that time is not going to be good enough for a top 3 position once qualifying is done and dusted. Gary Lennon now in the final sector, just about to take this tight chicane.
Oh, it was absolutely perfect.
And, absolutely nailed that car is to the road. Rounds the final corner. This has been a very neat and tidy lap from Gary Lennon, and he's just about to cross the line to do a 1:46.4. So not as fast as we were thinking, but clean and tidy. Nevertheless, he is into the top 10.
Yeah, I did predict him being in the top 10. Oh, and I think.
Oh, Tom Parker's disqualified himself.
Oh.
Oh,
well, I was only going to say that someone just moved up into 5th. I think that's Ben Warren.
Yes, it is. Goodness, very good effort from him.
But yeah, as I said, I think Lennon will be able to show his true colours in the second race, especially after the reverse grid, which might help him. Put him ahead of some of the faster guys, put him sort of in about 5th to 10th position, and he should be able to work his way and be good on tyre wear, which is actually very important in these cars, as we've seen in previous races where people have really.
He's disqualified himself.
Who?
Gary Lennon.
That's when he didn't do anything wrong. He did 1 hot lap, so that's definitely a glitch with the track. So I'm guessing the same happened to Parker. He did nothing wrong. I saw him exit the track. That's very unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate.
No, but the thing is that you are not allowed to exit the track in GPVWC. You have to return to the pit lane under your own power.
No.
What?
No. No, you're allowed to press escape and on track. It's just that after you do that, but this is mostly for the multiple lap qualifying sessions, then you can't go out again. But obviously there's a super pole, you can press escape. This is definitely a track glitch. I've seen this on many tracks. I don't know if he'll be able to, I don't know if him and Parker, I'm guessing the same happened to Parker, I don't know if they'll be able to have their proper grid positions back, but it'd be unfortunate if they don't.
Alright then, well, we'll try and get that cleared up for you as quickly as possible. But let's have a look at Petter Kassa. He's the final car out on track. He's just about to start his hot lap now, and he won on debut, of course, at the Hungaroring. Really, really impressive debut. And because of his impressive performance in both Race 1 and Race 2, he's found himself up in 5th and has dragged Target with him. I mean, his teammate Ari Niemian did pretty well himself. But really, the big points hitter was Kassa, and he looks to be really, really hooked up again in the first sector. Though, just because he looks hooked up doesn't mean that he will be quick. Obviously, we saw Gary Lennon only slotting into 8th at the time, so We'll just have to see what Casa can do as he's in the second sector now, pulling across to the right, turning in nicely into the left, and I really don't like that tyre screeching, but from what we saw last race, what we thought was going to be a race of extreme tyre wear for Peter Casa didn't really turn out to be the case. He pulled out a massive lead and was able to hold it for pretty much the entire race. So if he can deal with the tyre wear, Peter Casa looks set to have a real big impact on this championship, especially with where everyone has qualified so far.
Yeah, another driver who will have a big impact is Sean Stroud, currently in third position, so he's doing quite well, and his starts have been absolutely electrifying. With such starts, he can definitely hold other drivers up. I don't think he has the... Oh! Is that Jordan Weeks? Yes, it is! So finally, for the first time in the first 3 rounds, Jordan Weeks has actually done a good lap in Super Bowl.
We have been... Well, yeah, that's been something that we've been awaiting for quite a while from Jordan. But here comes Peter Casa. What can he do in the Target Racing car? His teammate, I'm not sure, he hasn't even qualified in the top 13, I think. But Peter Casa goes, pole position. Well, it was looking fast and his tyres were screeching everywhere. He beats Alex Cooper by 0.2 of a second. And that is his second consecutive pole position in 2 races. 2 from 2 outings. That is extremely impressive. And more to the point, very, very ominous for the drivers such as Hardwick, Cooper, Stroud and Parker ahead of him, who maybe are not getting the best starting positions they would like in this race.
And that's it for quali. There's no more drivers. Everyone's gone out on track in the first... Well, no one's gone out on track in the last 2 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. It's weird. Maybe track temperatures were changing. Maybe, people weren't happy with the conditions overall. But that is it. And so, just to run you down the top 10, it's Peter Casa on pole position from Alex Cooper, Jordan Weeks, Roy Schroten, Sean Stroud, Bart DeVos in division. Great stop from him. Great stuff from him. Ben Warren, another great qualifying in 7th. Jason Muscat, David Gaspers, and Dale Carrick rounding out the top 10. So 2 Drake Racings in the top 10 there. And Ryan Gilmore is saying he took wet rear tyres. So dearie me, that was not great. Not great at all from Ryan. And his inconsistent season, to say the least, has yet again continued. I thought he'd really, start a championship charge after Hungaroring. He got 2nd in race 2. But yet again, more disappointment. And Midnight might be wondering, what to do about it, because Ryan really needs to get in gear. Otherwise, you look at Alex Cooper, he's 2nd in the championship, and he's not making the same mistakes that his teammates making.
Well, yeah, it's something which can only happen without you really realising, especially with the wet practice. He probably had a setup which he used for the practice, and then when going into quali, he only remembered to change the fronts, when actually you've got to change both sets of tyres. Now, with some R-Factor mods, it automatically changes both sets. So if you have wets on the front, you must have wets on the rear, for example. But in this mod, you can only have different tyres on the front and the back, which is probably why that happened. Especially with the open wheel series, which, well, you do only have one set of tyres on the front and the back. You can't have different tyres.
Yeah, it's it's certainly something that it's a unique situation to have different types of tyres on the front and the back, and unfortunately for Ryan Gilmore there, caught out by it, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Thomas Jacobs out qualifying him on what was a very quick call-up. I know that for certain. I'm good friends with Thomas, and I think he'll be absolutely ecstatic to out-qualify at least one driver, no least Ryan Gilmore of Midnight, so he'll be happy with that. But there's a lot of sorting out still to do. We have, of course, the threat of rain, as Aaron Shergill has entered the room, so he'll now be starting at the back of the grid for United Racers. He had good pace, well, he had decent pace the last time out, so I don't think he's going to have too much effect on the standings. But yeah, this is definitely one of the more interesting rounds I've seen. Drivers out of position, drivers making mistakes already, and with the threat of rain possibly interfering with our race, well, I really have no idea what to expect. It's probably going to be anyone's game.
Well, going into turn 1, we will see a lot of action. I remember in the Formula Challenge event not long ago, only 1 week ago, we saw absolute carnage in both races going into and out of the first 2 corners. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more carnage here today. People will try and brake as late as possible, especially with such a long straight before it. It's Oh, okay, I've also just heard some news which is good for 2 drivers, and that is Gary Lennon and Tom Parker, and they will actually be in their proper grid positions, not disqualified. Yeah,
that is good news. So I think that means that the 2 drag racing cars who were in are no longer in the top 10, so it's a shame for them there. But yeah, I think I completely agree with you on turn 1, of course, with the straight to the Circuit de Catalunya, huge chance for slipstreaming, and I must say that so far the most exciting race that I've seen related to GPVWC and the Circuit de Catalunya was the Super Cup race, which I was very fortunate enough to commentate on last week. I'll have another shout out to Giuseppe Ranieri, who managed to find so many overtaking points on this track. It's quite unbelievable, and he used turn 1 quite a lot, both around on the inside of drivers and outside of drivers, and it's really going to be grip and locking down the tyres, which is going to be key here, and that's something that Petercasa especially has really got on his car at the moment. I think Gary Lennon, another person with really good grip, and the likes of Oscar Hardwick, who didn't look so safe, might be in a bit of trouble.
Well, yeah, he's starting outside the top 15, so he's really got to put on a show here today.
Yeah, you're telling me. It's and also especially since his teammate Martin Palm isn't here. You know, Milk Racing, theoretically, are the strongest team. I mean, they inherited the number 0, basically the number 1 constructor spot from Torrent Motorsport affiliated, of course. And yeah, they look like a team with such good prospects. I mean, I say that they're under real threat. Look at Midnight. They've got 1 driver in the top half of the table, and of course Ryan Gilmore's going to be starting right down the back. CSG only has 1 driver here today. Actually, the best team effort, looking at what my constructor standings are, Simink are looking like they might have a really good result in championship charge here today. If I remember correctly, I mean, the wiki page has been down, so I haven't been able to memorize the correct points at least completely. But if I remember correctly, Simink was quite a way behind CSG, but both cars are here today, and I know for certain that Roy Schroten qualified 4th, I think it was.
I know for certain that he qualified 4th, I think.
I think, yes. It's contradicting myself there. But yeah, Tom Parker's shown good, consistent speed. Roy Schroten been less consistent, but he certainly has the speed to match Parker. So, Simink could really find themselves in a good position, but only if they keep it on track. And with a less congested grid, I think they should find that a bit easier than before, because of course with some of the other races, it was absolutely manic, the amount of cars that were going around.
Oh, what? Do you want me to discuss that? Sorry.
I don't know. Well, I mean, do you have anything to discuss? We still have 4 minutes and a half or so of qualifying left, as Dimitri Demurmeister has entered the game as well. So we now have 25 drivers in the room, which is
well,
a bit better.
Something that we could discuss is actually the possibility of rain, and what do you think could happen if there is rain? Now, you know, in such a short race, you wouldn't really expect pit stops, but if the conditions during the race change, like if it starts in dry and then in the second half of the race it suddenly got red, we might see an absolute corker on our hands.
Oh, absolutely.
We really might. And also, this might give some of the people who started in the back, well, yeah, people such as Hardwick, a really good chance, because if you pit at the correct time, you know, let's say if you're having a poor race and, you know, it's always like, sod it, you know, I'm outside the points, you know, why not risk it? And that usually happens, and most of the time it usually works. You know, this will be a big disadvantage for the people near the front who have had good qualifyings. You know, Petercasa, Jordan Weeks, etc. You know, because they've got to, you know, they can't make risks. They've got to go with everyone else near them. You know, if someone in 20 off position is going on to like a different tyre, well, you just got to try and ignore it and wait until people around you do. You've got to follow your rivals.
It is a very fair point, actually. We've not yet had rain in WSS before. We have had it in World GT, but only for short amounts of time, and it hasn't really affected the order so much as, you know, shake up people from the back to the front. So to have rain for an entire race, or at least the possibility of having rain for an entire race, really does intrigue me, and there's something that inside me which really wants a rain-filled race. So I do hope that there's not too many accidents from it, because although we'd like to see good, clean racing, the risk of accidents is pretty much trebled or so, I'd say, in the event of rain. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I'd like to ask you, Bradley, from what you've seen so far of free practice and qualifying, who do you think's in the best position here to possibly take the race win for race 1?
I'll go with Peter. He's on pole. You know, his performance at Hungary last time was really good. You know, he managed to beat Hardwick fair and square. He beat, you know, Shroud, everyone. He beat them fair and square. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again, especially as this is a more Formula 1 track based than some of the other tracks that we might have later in the season. It's as in like this track, it's more suitable for open wheelers than it is Porsche Carreras. Does that make sense?
You know, I think actually, to be fair to Petter as well, those who will have seen the wiki page will have noticed a string of Norwegian flags on the brief race summary. Sean Stroud won race 2, but Petter Kasser, get this, won qualifying, got pole position there, won race 1, got the fastest lap in race 1, and indeed got the fastest lap in race 2. And in fact, I remember that he actually got back up into the top 10. I think he was like 6th or something overall in race 2 at Hungary. So yeah, I think it's going to be hard to put your bets on anyone but Petter winning this race. Of course, rain could completely change that. We don't know, but something tells me that Petter's really high downforce car should really suit wet weather as well. It looks like he might very well have a perfect car for all conditions. So we haven't seen that, you know, to be fair, in free practice. So lots of questions to be answered. We have 50 seconds or so left.
And with those last 50 seconds, just like to explain to all the viewers that we'll have 2 races today of 14 laps, the same length. However, before race 2, there will be a reverse grid, with the positions reversed being between 15 and 20. So there'll be like a random number generator, which will be used to decide.
I had lots of fun. I had lots of fun with that last
16th,
week.
17th, 18th, 19th, or 20th. So there's a lot to fight for all through the grid in this first race. And well, yeah, I can't really wait, can you?
I really can't wait either, and I must say also that if we do have multiple retirements, which might very well be the case here today, those who retire in the top 20 positions will still be eligible for pole position. So if you DNF in 20th position, you could find yourself on pole position for race 2, which makes prospects even more exciting. So there we go. Race 1 warm-up is over.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And the R Factor man does his stuff, and everyone will be making their way onto the grid. And okay, so yeah, interesting.
And yeah, I'd just like to know, we actually have a formation lap, if you didn't know, before the actual race. So all the drivers can get warmed up on the grid. So you know, it'd be awkward if it's like, and there they are away, and then the viewers at home are like, wow, that's a really slow start. It's a formation lap.
and remember, of course. Oh, where is Petter? Oh, I hate it when drivers leave things this late. It's really bad. Come on, Petter. There we go. Right then. So formation lap. Exciting. It's Petter Kasser who leads us off on pole position. A really impressive showing again from the Target Racing driver. He's closely followed by Alex Cooper, currently second in the championship. He'll be sensing an opportunity to really make a charge on the man in front of him, Oscar Hardwick, in the championship. Jordan Weeks finally showed up in qualifying for once. He starts P3 for FA Racing, just ahead of Roy Schroten. Really impressive stuff here from the Simic driver. Not the most consistent of seasons so far.
Well, I've just noticed we actually have 6 different teams in the top 6.
That's very true, because we have Sean Stroud in P5, the Rocket Man himself, DSG Racing, and Bart the Boss. Really impressive qualifying again from him in the Division car. So great,
And,
6 teams in the top 6.
And we also have 9 teams in the top 10.
Let's continue on with that then. So we've got Tom Parker in P7. So yeah, P4 and P7 for Simic. That's a great job for them. Ben Warren, good effort for him. Racing Team Schroten, he's in P8 with Jason Muscat for the Epic Racing Team in at P9. David Gaspers rounds out the top for Drake Racing, and Gary Lennon, your prediction was wrong, good sir. He's just outside in P11 for what we believe to be Team Xal.
Yeah,
Then we have Dale Carrick for Drake Racing, he's in P12 with Dimitri Demulmeister in P13 for Woods Racing.
Oh, that's actually... Oh, he's actually done a good qualifying.
He has indeed. Matt Clipp is 14th for Royal Blue Racing with Scott Sovic in FA Racing behind him in P15. Jay Cooper, despite his crazy lap, was P16 for Infinity Esports, with Chris Williamson behind him for Woods Racing, P17. P18 is Morton Bernson for Royal Blue, with Miles 6 and P19 for Slipstream. Oscar Hardwick, Championship leader, starts P20 with Ari Niemian, or Nieminen, that's right. Target Racing, Petter's teammate, down in 21, so terrible qualifying from there. Pavel Oknovsky will start P22 for Innovision with David Thomas Jacobs for SS Motorsport P23. Brian Gilmore will be P24 for Midnight Motorsport, the only one to settle that having the 2-minute mark. And Aaron Shergill, not qualified, he starts P25. So, 25 drivers, nice number that actually, quarter of 100. Line up
25 drivers, but only 15-point positions.
Indeed. 10 people will be missing out as everyone starts to line up in their grid positions. You can just see that everyone is just getting to place. Aaron Shergill and Ryan Gilmore taking as much time as they like. Everyone else's tyres will be getting colder by the second. Possible tactics there from Ryan to try and get himself further up the grid. So, we now await the lights. They come on. 3, 4, 5 lights. And here at the Circuit de Catalunya, we are racing. And it's a decent start there from Casa. Look at Jordan Weeks, terrible start. Look at Sean Stroud. Once again, a fabulous start from the Englishman. Up into second ahead of Alex Cooper. But Peter Casa is away far too strong for Stroud to make any impression on the lead. And as we pile down into turn 1, it's Peter Casa leading from Sean Stroud. Alex Cooper
big contact behind. I think that's Thomas Jacobs in the wall. And,
oh my goodness me! Oh no, that's Tom Parker. And oh my... Who is that? Everyone. No, Jordan Weeks was involved there. Tom Parker, Verdenson I saw also off there. And oh, dearie me, awful stuff there at the first corner. I think, was that catalysed by Thomas Jacobs?
Well, I think Thomas Jacobs might have been hit from behind because he got sort of hit under braking and so on. That was the only car I could notify off the track. So that so Peter Caster's leading. Stroud is in third and
second.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Stroud is in second and that Cooper in third, yes.
Cooper in third. More interesting stuff further back. David Gaspers is up into P6. Dimitri Demulmeister up into 7th. Cooper 8th. Sovic 9th. And Oscar Hardwick from P20. He's up into P10.
Wow. That's pretty good from Sovic, actually, into 9th.
And Ryan Gilmore up into 11th. And you as well. So great starts from the guys.
Oh, sorry, we got a move. That's Jake. Oh. Yeah, Cooper? Yeah.
Jake Cooper on Demulmeister. Yeah, and Demulmeister runs wide there. Jake Cooper doesn't have enough
speed. Oh, sorry, contact behind. I think that might have been Loknovsky. It's one of the Innovisions, anyway, that must have been hit under braking there for the hairpin.
Yeah. Real dramas going on behind, and this is clear that people haven't been practicing at all. And yeah, going over, we've just finished lap 1. Absolutely manic. But it is Peter Casa who leads by 1.2 seconds.
Hardwick's going to be overtaken here for 10th position. Great move there from the Midnight Motorsport driver. And is that Ben Warren also going on the inside?
He's being mugged by Ben Warren as well. Look at this. But Hardwick's right to the back of Gilmore. I predict trouble going into turn 1. And look at Scott Sovic ahead, trying to get past Jay Cooper. He manages to get the job done. And Gilmore drives. Oh no! That was very forceful by Gilmore. And basically thrust Cooper out of the way to go up into 9th. A bit naughty there, but Oscar Hardwick losing out. He's down to P11.
Oh, Demulmeister!
Oh no! Oh my goodness me!
Oh, big contact there!
No!
That was with Mark Dixon, I think. Yeah, Dixon, who was in 15th position, must be now out of this race. So Demulmeister, who was going so well in 7th position, is now out of the race. Sovic's up to 7th. Gilmore 8th.
Demulmeister's still going, but Miles Dixon is out.
Oh. Sorry, just watching this battle between Gilmore and Sovic. Bit of contact now as they're going into this sort of Slight chicane.
Oh, it's Stroud's round! Oh my goodness, action everywhere!
So
Stroud's
and
round!
Gilmore in the back of
Oh, that was close. He's gone onto the grass.
Oh, sorry,
It's
big
not
battle,
the lawn cutting.
big battle for second position as well. Schroten is defending for, and there's a car off. I don't know
That's
who that was.
Gilmore. This is
No,
absolute...
no, that's
And that's Hardwick as well. Oh
Hardwick
my...
was off.
I really do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely manic stuff. Let's keep an eye on the battle for P6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Oh,
11,
God,
12, 13, 14, 15.
Let's go. The battle for the entire field. This is absolutely nuts. As Hardwick goes for the inside of Sovic. Nothing doing there. The FA Racing driver in the top 10 at the moment. Hardwick also in the top 10. But he's trying to push his way through at the state of things going now. I've got absolutely no idea what's going on.
Okay, just to the battle for seconds. The Castle's away. Castle's away. No one's going to catch Castle anymore. We have Cooper in second, Schroten in third, DeVos in fourth, and Gaspers up to fifth. And early Gaspers is making a move up for fourth, it seems.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
actually, he's making a late move. No.
He's making dive, nothing there, but Gaspers...
Further back, we got Hardwick on the inside of Sovic making a clean move. Sovic doesn't close the door. Lennon is now... Oh, Lennon just in the back of the top 10. Sovic goes off. And Warren goes through. And also, Neiman might go through as well, as Sovic loses momentum, and he's almost fun.
Oh my goodness me! Vinaroo, it's action everywhere, and Sovic just about recovers it. He's back in P13. I'm just trying to see where the best battle is, but Petakasa, as you rightly say, 5.7 seconds clear. He's absolutely loving this.
All contact between Shroud and Shroud and Gilmore. Shroud is almost Shroud's off the Shroud, and the gravity got tapped by Gilmore. He rejoins in front of Hardwick, for Hardwick's got spare speed now and should overtake here, or will he?
Oh,
no, good defensive driving.
Goodness me!
Oh no! Oh, he's off.
Oh dearie me!
Hardwick cut the track. He might have actually have some sort of in-game penalty. Lennon goes ahead of Shroud. Ben Warren's now right on the back of Shroud as well, and Neiman has now got into this as well.
It's madness, absolutely everywhere, and I'm just trying to
Neiman going on the inside of Lennon.
Oh,
Lennon,
he's round as well!
Oh,
my
that
goodness
was very poor driving. Very poor driving for a Neiman, and he braked far too late, and Lennon just would not have seen him there. It was such a long way back. Lennon really could not do much. He would have seen him so late on.
This is really disappointing stuff, actually. I mean, this is a far cry from the lovely racing that we were seeing just 2 weeks ago.
Shroud must have spun because he was really slow. He must have gone off or something, because he's now behind Hardwick. I don't know, I think he already was, but he lost quite a lot of time there in the chicane. He was going very slowly, and now Ben Warren is now going to be fighting him for 8th. Sovic's still somehow in the top 10. I don't understand how, but he is. And actually, Sovic might even make it up into the top 9.
And
he does.
Oh no, Sovic is P11. He's just going into P10 now.
No, he's wide. He's gone off.
He's definitely P11 at the moment, and he's just about to get mugged by Tom. Poor Tom Parker. He's back in P12 after all of this madness. And amazingly further still. Amazing further still. There's only one retirement in the forms of Miles Dixon. Absolutely crazy stuff. So quickly, you battle up at the front. Apologies for going away from everything. Petakasa leads by 6.2 seconds now. From Alex Cooper, who's a further 7/10 ahead of Roy Schroten up into P3. David Gasper's having the race of his life up in P4, just ahead of Bot, DeVos for Inhibition, keeping it clean. Ryan Gilmore up into P6 with Jake Cooper in P7, although he's really under attack from Oscar Hardwick now in the milk racing car, and he's really not going to have a look through there. No, he's not. Good job there from Hardwick to stay behind, but I presume he'll be having to go
Cooper got a bit
this
loose there
next
at the
turn
exit
sooner or later.
Cooper got a bit loose there at the exit of the right hand, and that's given Hardwick good momentum, but he's forced onto the outside, and he can't make the move there.
Good defensive drive from Jay Cooper. He knows where to place that car.
Stroud's off. Sorry, I keep saying Shroud instead of Stroud. So he went off, and there's also big battle behind. That's Carrick, and is that one of the Epic Racing drivers? Who's that?
That's Jason Muscat there, attacking the back of Carrick. He's in the points, and I think I'm correct in saying that this will be Epic's first points in a long time. In fact, Jason Muscat, I believe, is brand new here. He must have replaced either Lee Davidson or Andy Smith, both of who actually quite underperformed, unfortunately, last time. And Ben Warren's round! Oh no!
I'm going to see what happened. I've got it on replay. So it's somewhere in the final corner. He's lost control at the exit. Oh no, Oscar Hardwick spun. Oscar Hardwick has spun, which allowed Warren past. And now in the final corner, what's happened here? Oh, there's contact between Hardwick and Warren. Hardwick's hit the back of Warren at the final corner after spinning just one corner before, and Warren is in the wall. He's back on track though in where is he? Oh god, he's absolutely far down. He's 19th position.
Warren's 19th, yeah. But look, Oscar Hardwick now, P9, P10. He's on the inside of Dale Carrick, and that's signed, sealed, and delivered. Thank you very much, sir. Dale Carrick moves out the way. His teammate, David Gaspers, has actually been overtaken for 4th by Bart DeVos in the time that we were in that battle, and Jason Muscat gets me almost rear-ending Dale Carrick there.
Sovik's been hit there by Niemanen. This is just behind the. This is behind this battle, actually.
Yeah, so Sovic, Tom Parker, and Niemanen there. This is absolutely manic racing. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure it's a spectacle for you lot. We're trying to cover as much of it as we can, but a far cry, and oh my goodness me, drift around that corner for Sovic, and Niemanen goes through. At this rate, I've got no idea who's going to finish and who won't.
So Stroud going off again. I think he'll get an advantage there. I think he might be purposely going wide at the exit of the hairpin, going into the final sector. He definitely didn't really lose much time from going quite far wide, just on the back of Cooper. And Ali Cooper's on the behind Cooper.
Yeah, fair enough. Lap 6 of 14. Petakasa still leads by 6.7 seconds. Alex Cooper has pulled out a bit of a gap to Roy Schroten. Roy Schroten is trying to catch him on the straight. Bart DeVos and Gaspers still quite close as well. Ryan Gilmore on his own in P6. Great job from him there to get up the field. Look at Jake Cooper though, P7, P8. Sean Stroud really starting to catch the back of him. And he's making a move already. Goodness me, Jake Cooper very, very... And oh no, round goes Stroud. Far too much speed there for Stroud, and Oscar Hardwick overtakes him.
Oh! Hardwick went across the runoff area and did gain a position because of it. Now, obviously, Stroud was on the racing line, but he might have actually had an in-game penalty for that. It's a possibility, it definitely is.
And look at the battle behind there. This is Gary Lennon going for the inside of Dale Carrick. That's a nice move there from Lennon. He's finally up into the top 10 after all of the shenanigans that are going on. He'll be trying to keep a close pace to Sean Stroud because he's got the pace of the leaders at the moment. And if it wasn't for that spin, he would have been past Jake Cooper for P7. Unfortunately, not the case. He's now down in P9. And oh, again! Sean Stroud.
Oh, that was absolutely stupid, that was. I mean, he just went backwards slightly into the path of another car. I couldn't tell who. Well, I think it might be Niemanen. Yeah, Niemanen. And he's just staying on track. So I've got to say, well done, Stroud.
And Jordan Weeks has gone round. This is
There's no point being good at starts if you can't bloody drive in the actual race. Seriously.
Well, I don't think it's our place to judge everyone at the moment. I think that there's a lot of drivers being caught out by this track for some reason or another. But we're just going to have to get on with commentating. We're on lap 7 of 14, halfway through this race, and we've had more action than a 24 hours in the morning. What's happened there?
I'm just watching that. I just looked at the damage that the Demudemeter's got from his crash with Dixon. The whole right door is off.
Lovely.
You wouldn't see that in real life, would you?
No, he's very much gone from heavyweight to lightweight in the space of an entire race, and well...
Oh, 3 wide! We've got 3 wide into turn 1 between...
Oh my goodness me! That's Parker, Carrick and Muscat, and Tom Parker trying to force his way through! He pushes Carrick off track, and look at Muscat!
And he does! Muscat takes both of them. Oh no, he doesn't!
Oh, dearie me! Well, that was Tom Parker not giving enough space, and off goes Muscat. That's a good points position and overtaking move, but that ruined, once again, is all rules out of the window for race 1 of 2. Remember, we've got another one coming up after this. Your current top 10 is Petakasa from Alex Cooper, Roy Schroten, Bart DeVos, Gaspers, Gilmore, Hardwick, Cooper, Lennon, and Parker now up into P10 after pretty much disposing of Muscat at turn 2 there. Manic stuff. I'm just trying to see whether the leading cars have got any clean battling going on.
Hardwick is off again!
And he's behind Tom
and so
Parker as well.
Off as well. So everyone seems to be going off today. Carrick, Stroud, Hardwick, you know, championship leader, has made more mistakes than Narain Carter-Kayan today.
Jake Cooper must be absolutely laughing. His car looked like he couldn't stick it on the road at all, and oh, just as I say that, he spun it. Gary Lennon goes through.
There was also Gilmore.
P7.
Gilmore, wait, was that Gilmore?
No, it's not
Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Sorry, was Schroten? No, sorry, not Schroten.
Tom Parker.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so Parker also spun at the same time that Cooper did.
Oh, and Cooper really not looking good after all that. He has let Gary Lennon through, and he's got Championship leader Oscar Hardwick. Oh my goodness me, wibbly wobbly out the final corner. Hardwick's going to say thank you very much, Jake. I'm going to be off past you now. The milk racing car moves up into P8, so Jake Cooper's going to move back in for the slipstream. He goes for the inside. He's going to try and defend it, or possibly not. He's a bit too far behind to do anything. Now he's got to be all eyes and ears about him as Tom Parker tries to make a charge back up into P9.
Yeah, at any other race this season, you know, Hardwick would have been out of the points, so would Cooper. Cooper, Parker, you know, all three of these would have been out of the points on any other track, but because so many people have been making mistakes, it just means that somehow they're able to be in the top 10.
It's astonishing. I mean, we haven't even had rain yet. Can you imagine what this race will be like with rain as Tom Parker steams through on Jake Cooper? Jake Cooper tries to look for the inside, but Tom Parker nicely parked there, actually. And he goes up into P9. Jake Cooper still in the top 10, though. That's a really commendable effort there for the Englishman as Tom Parker goes wide, and Jake Cooper has a massive tank slapper, so they stay as they are. But I was saying that it was looking like a Simic are going to have a good day. They are kind of having a good day in 3 and 4, but Midnight are having a wonderful result here. 2nd and 6th for the two Midnight boys at the moment. They're going to be getting a good load of points from race 1.
Looking further up, and we have Gaspers and DeVos, who have been, well, they've been together for all of the race, but they just haven't really been battling. They've been a very similar pace. Gaspers can't seem to get ahead using a slipstream on this main straight. And yeah, so after 8 laps, Cooper is 8 seconds behind Caspers.
Oh, just as you say that, I think Gasper's really catching up now. Will he make a late dive or not? I don't think he will. This is a fabulous result for Drake Racing, and I don't think Gaspers is silly enough to try and waste that by overtaking Bart DeVos. DeVos, of course, a Super League driver. He knows what he's doing in that Innovision car. And he was slightly unlucky at Hungaroring last time out, actually, but he's got a wise head, DeVos. And he's going to want to keep Gaspers behind at all costs, and of course Gaspers doesn't want to cause much trouble himself, so hopefully that battle should keep going until the end, nice and tidy.
Well, Gaspers is also a Super League driver. He
is.
And he was 2nd last season in the Formula Challenge and won most of the races he competed in, so he's no slouch. He knows what it's got. He knows what it takes to win a race, or at least get a podium.
And he's actually, he's really hassing up to the back of DeVos this lap, isn't he? We'll just, you know what? We're going to keep with this one. Forget all the madness happening behind. Let's focus on a high points paying position battle as Gaspers goes quite wide there. But he will have the slipstream going into this left hand. Nothing doing there. But if he's able to stay with DeVos, round sector 3, he might yet have a chance into turn 1 for the first time. This entire race, we're on lap 9 of 14. I believe it's going to be nearly 10 of 14 as Castor rounds the final corner. Gasper's doing well to stay on the back of DeVos. This little chicane here, really difficult to do, but Gasper's has taken it nicely. DeVos has run out wide.
I think DeVos.
Oh, is that Stroud? Yeah, that is Stroud. He's struggling back in P24. And yeah, his race has just gone absolutely terribly. But Gasper's, I don't think his car has got the straight line speed to do anything by the looks of it, because he's not been able to catch up to DeVos on the straight.
Yeah, it is a possibility. I also noticed he didn't get the best of run out of the chicane. It wasn't a bad run, but DeVos also got a pretty good run. I am now going to look further back, and we have Cooper and Parker.
Parker!
This is the 9th position.
And Cooper looks out to the right-hand side. Is he going to late brake? No, he's not. I think Cooper should be... Oh my god, that car still looks like such a handful. And the fact that he's able to hold on to the back of Parker is a real testament to Cooper's ability. He's really shown himself to be a diligent driver here in the WSS as well as in World GT. And the fact that the car is... it's still tank slapping absolutely everywhere. But Parker is not able to escape. So I think Jake Cooper's got a bit more speed in that car, despite its, quite frankly, awful handling by the looks of it.
Yeah.
What's that front? Oh, is that Sean Stroud up again? And oh no, DeVos has been involved in that as well. And so Gaspers is up into 4th.
Oh, and not Sovic in the wall, I just noticed, on a straight.
Nicely done.
So yeah, I'm going to watch this replay then between Stroud and DeVos. Stroud, where is Stroud? I can't even see where this is. Oh, so DeVos has gone off on his own. He had the wall slightly. No, so hey, Stroud's not involved at all.
Okay. Right, that's cool then. Stroud's just been overtaken by Gilmore actually. Actually, mind you, look at Gilmore. Because if DeVos is off, Gilmore has really been able to catch up. I mean, David Gaspers must be absolutely laughing. P4 for Drake Racing. The dream come true. So, lap 11 of 14, Petrocasa now leads by 8.3 to Alex Cooper, who's a further, yeah, exactly, yeah, it's further 2 seconds or so ahead of Roy Stroton in third. Good result for him there so far. Now we've got David Gaspers in fourth, Bart DeVos fifth, Gilmore sixth, Lennon seventh, Hardwick eighth.
And actually, this might be a battle to watch. The Hardwick-Lennon battle might be a battle to watch, as Hardwick does seem to be faster. But in these final 4 laps, well, anything can happen, and I wouldn't say that Lennon is bad at defending.
Yeah, just looking at Cooper, he's really dropped off the back of Parker now, so it's all about hanging on to P10 until the last. You've got Carrick and Bernardson in close proximity behind. And Carrick actually went a little bit wide there.
Yeah, Carrick and Bernardson there. And Warren's also got past Cervix, so Cervix dropped down, so he must have made a mistake. He's now in 14th position. Oh yeah, he went off on... Oh, who's that?
Oh, Cooper! Cooper went off, just as we said he should hold on to P10. He's lost it, and he's going to have to worry now about Ben Warren there, and Scott Sovic indeed. They're on the lower half of the points positions there in P13 and P14, but Jake Cooper's been looking dodgy, and as his tyres degrade more and more, Ben Warren and Sovic will be sensing a real opportunity to get a couple more points there.
Yeah, just watching the replay, and Cooper, he sort of, the rear got a bit loose, he tried to correct it, just corrected it way too much, it was in the gravel, and was that, Hardwick was going, oh, sorry, I thought Hardwick had actually lost control of the car. Now, I don't know the actual full rules about the tarmac at the tarmac runoff for the exit of the hairpin, but many drivers have been abusing that runoff. And I don't know if it's been allowed. Now, many people receive penalties at the after the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Oh, Stroud's round again.
Oh, yeah. So many people receive penalties after the Hungarian Grand Prix at GPVWC for abusing track boundaries. And I've got to say, the track boundary abusing here hasn't really been much better.
No, it hasn't, and obviously we'll let the penalty giver-outers do their thing when they get the time. I think the closest battle on track at the moment
is Carrick and
Bernardson. So P10 and P11 here. Carrick up into P10, benefiting from Cooper's mistake early on. So both Drake Racing cars up into the top 10. That's going to be a brilliant result for the team there.
And I've just noticed now, you know, we have the reverse grid, which is somewhere between 15th and 20th. And there's a possibility that Jordan Weeks and Demoulemester could be first and second.
Absolutely. I'm looking at Thomas Jacobs. I know it's his first evening and probably only evening here. He is currently a good 9 seconds or so behind Demoulemester, so I think we're going to have a retirement before we can possibly have Jacobs on pole position. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to see, because of course Demoulemester and Weeks are not the slowest ones around. They can certainly try and steal a race win if they can, but look at Carrick and Bernardson now. Bernardson really close onto the back of Carrick, and this is a great late race charge from Bernardson. He did really well in the Super Cup race here last week, where he got a top 10 for Vodbull. Really impressive effort, and he's really piling the pressure onto Carrick here. The Drake Racing driver will really want the top 10 to try and support his teammate Gaspers in getting Drake Racing up the constructors table. But Bernardson for Royal Blue, he's going to have something to say about it for sure as we enter the final 2 laps of the race.
And we also have Oscar Hardwick, who's now right in the back of Gary Lennon with 2 laps to go. He's about half a second behind as we cross the start-finish line for these two.
Just looking at the other battles.
Yeah, it is actually about half a second.
Yep, so Oscar Hardwick, he's got 2 laps to do something. And whether we can do something in those 2 laps, we will just have to wait and see. I'm just looking back at Carrick and Bernardson. And Bernardson seems to have dropped back a bit, actually. So I think Carrick, as opposed to his teammate Gaspers, actually has the straight line speed to be able to outrun some of the other cars. So he's really extended the gap over Bernardson for this lap. Of course, I presume Bernardson, with better cornering speed, will be right onto the back of him again in the next 3 sectors.
Well, yeah, we don't know, but maybe the Royal Blue setups that Bernardson's using has even worse straight line speed than Drake Racing.
Well, we'll just have to let those play out. So currently, 1.5 laps or so to go. Peterkassa now leads by 9.3 seconds. Absolute dominant race here from the Norwegian. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got fastest lap as well. Alex Cooper still holding third with Roy Schroten third. David Gasper still fourth, though DeVos seems to be catching. Gilmore, who's been left for dead pretty much, as Gary Lennon holds seventh, just ahead of Oscar Hardwick. Let's keep with this battle now, actually. Oscar Hardwick really onto the back of Lennon, and if he's going to do something, then he's going to have to do something in the last lap. Peterkassa has started the last lap, as Oscar Hardwick, currently in the third sector. If he manages to hook up this final bit right, he can have a really good run into turn one on newbie Lennon. A really admirable performance from Lennon, actually, to get into the top 10 at his first event for Team Roxal. And hopefully he'll have a nice delivery to accomplish, or to accompany him for next round.
I've also noticed that since Cooper hasn't really been battling, he hasn't actually lost too much time to Kassa, and someone that has also been quite quick since...
oh, here goes Hardwick, sorry to cut you off, Hardwick's gone through,
yeah,
steaming through, and yep, that is absolutely done, unfortunately. Lennon down into 8th, and Oscar Hardwick up into 7th.
Yeah, I was sort of following on to the battle there.
Yeah. And so that is pretty much done. I think Hardwick should be able to pull away nice and easily now. Tom Parker on his own in 9th.
Sorry, wait. Yeah, Carrick's still ahead of Bernisson's. Bernisson's actually still very close. Could you just track where Peterkassa is on track?
Peterkassa is in the 3rd sector now, I believe. He's just entering the 3rd sector.
Okay.
So I think keep with Carrick and Bernisson for the moment. I'm just having a look that Bernisson will make a move down into this corner. No, nothing doing there. So let's go back to Kassa now. Well,
yeah,
the Norwegian made a massive debut last week. And, well, he's continued the momentum here at the Circuit of Catalunya. Peerless performance from Peterkassa. The Norwegian for Target Racing crosses the line, and he wins race 1 in style. 10 seconds in the end, ahead of Alex Cooper, who's only just onto the start-finish straight now. Good points for the Midnight Driver. He will be catching up to Hardwick in no time at all if he continues this form. Roy Schroten third. Brilliant job from the Simic driver there. As David Gasper's fourth, he will be absolutely jumping for joy. Bart DeVos fifth with Ryan Gilmore sixth. Here comes Oscar Hardwick round the final corner. Gary Lennon's actually not been too far behind overall. But Hardwick will take 7th. Will it be his lucky number for next round? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Gary Lennon 8th on debut. Good job from him there.
Oh, Thomas Jacobs is currently 20th, James.
No.
Yes, okay, he is. Demunimis made a mistake.
Tom Parker 9th. Dale Carrick 10th. Bernison 11th. Cooper 12th. And yeah, absolutely. Thomas Jacobs is in P20, and yeah, Demunimis has finished the race, I think. Oh no, he hasn't. Sorry, I apologise, he's not finished the race. Sean Stroud, definitely P24. Aaron Shergill, definitely P23. And yeah, Thomas Jacobs has about a 9-second gap to Pavel Loknovsky. So, if we have P20 reversed, Thomas Jacobs, who was reeled in about an hour or so before this event, might very well find himself on pole position. That is absolutely astounding.
And I've got to say, it'd be rather ironic now if it was actually the top 19 reversed.
That would be, but that would put Jordan Weeks on pole.
James, do you know who does the random generating?
I do the random generating.
Ooh.
And I'm very excited to see what it pulls up. I must say, I'm not going to just shout out P20 because I want Thomas Jacobs on pole. I swear on my soul, I will do it absolutely fairly. And whatever number comes up, it should be interesting. So, your candidates for pole position for race 2 are Muscat, Clip, Niemanen, Williamson, Weeks, and Jacobs. So, in a very varied field there. Muscat, Niemanen, and Weeks definitely are drivers who I think could possibly get a good position out of a reverse grid. The other three, not so much, to say the least. I think they're a bit off the pace to be able to maintain the race pace that at least Peterkassa was doing, and I believe that he would have got fastest lap from that race as well. Absolutely dominant performance from the Norwegian.
So, yeah, we just got a few minutes of warm-up, and then we'll have a reverse grid, and then we'll have race 2, which is, again, a 14-lap race.
Yeah, it must be said it's actually raining in the free practice session
Well,
at
yeah,
the moment.
but, yeah,
So,
but
yet more.
with the way our factor is, it doesn't really matter if it's raining in practice or quali. That doesn't mean it's going to be raining in the race.
So Sean Stroud, he attributes his problems to high tyre temperatures, 140 degrees from lap 2 onwards. You need to... Oh, pardon me, you need to get a freezer in that garage of yours, sir.
No, I think you just need to stop spinning.
Well, it's with overheating tyres comes that problem. So yeah, we will have a rain hit session for
Warm up.
warm up, which should throw a couple of people off, I guess. Right, so it's time to do the reverse grid. I am generating.
You do know that if it is 20.
Oh no! Oh, it's P19.
Well, I was going to say, if it was 20, there would be a lot of calls for bias, as you are racing in the same team with him elsewhere.
Oh, shush you. I'm an unbiased commentator. I'm a biased racing driver.
So that means, with the top 19 being reversed, that it is Jordan
Weeks.
So, well, so that's twice in the same event that he has a good quali, even though he had some sort of incident on the opening lap last time, which sent him down.
I think the issue with the race 1 start was, of course, the manic first corner, and he clearly got caught up with that. If he gets a good...
Well, I don't actually know what happened to Weeks, because he was running sort of... I think there was contact with Stroud, but that was, that wasn't the actual cause of the incident. I don't understand, and I don't actually know. I don't actually know what happened to him. I don't know if he lost control by himself or what, but I don't think he was actually hit by anybody.
No, well,
the main carnage was actually further back after from 15th downwards.
Indeed, but let's be honest, if he gets a good start here, I think it's fair to say that he definitely has the pace to be able to maintain at least a podium position overall. I mean, obviously, Norwegian driver, fast in most other series I've seen him in, so it's not to say that he can't win here in race 2.
Well, yeah, he definitely does have the pace. We haven't really seen him though fighting completely for a win yet though, so
fair play.
We'll see how that develops.
I must admit, I do feel sorry for Thomas Jacobs. I mean, that would have been a fabulous story to see a person called in at the last minute on pole position for race 2. That would have been quite fabulous. But such is the way that the reverse grid goes, and well, the FA racing driver is going to be looking as this for a really good chance to show off what he can do. And of course, we could still have rain, which would further spice up the action.
Yeah, just watching practice currently with the rain-filled session. It's not that bad, but it is bad enough for wet tyres. There isn't any like multiple compounds. We either have dry or wet. It's not like you have intermediates.
No.
Even I think if there was intermediates, then that would be the sort of conditions that we'd have. Those would be the tyres that we'd have.
So. 7 minutes or so to go. I'm absolutely shattered by that race 1 alone. I must apologise to everyone watching, because that was more manic than I think both of us could handle at the same time. There was so much action happening everywhere and so much debatable driving going on that it's really hard to keep a tabs on. I mean, I thought that with the smaller amount of people here today, we'd be seeing cleaner and less traffic-related racing, but if anything, we've seen more. And what's more amazing out of the entire thing was the only man to retire was Miles Dixon.
Yeah, and that wasn't really his own fault. He was just a bit unfortunate with the way that the Misa was on track.
Absolutely. So, what have we got to look out here for race 2? Well, obviously, everyone who started at front, starting near enough the back, though Ryan Gilmore has proven that you can get up into a good position, P6 to be exact, from the back of the grid. So as long as you stay clean, you're always available to capitalise. But I mean, we've got the likes of Petter Kassa starting P19.
Yeah, and talking about Kassa, how well do you think he can do? Do you think a top 10, a top 5, a podium, or even a win?
You know what? From what I've seen here today, I wouldn't dare guess. Because it's so easy to get caught up in an incident which isn't your fault, and also just to lose concentration. I know Petter is a really focused driver, but everyone makes mistakes, and so far we haven't necessarily seen one from Kassa, so there's always that to add to the equation. So as I said, I'm not going to be putting forward any promises.
Oh, go
for people
on.
winning
Stop
the
being boring, James.
Oh, come on. Fine, okay. Winner of the race will be weeks. I think that.
Okay.
I think pole position is the best place to be at the moment.
I'll go with Hardwick, as he's starting in about, what, about 12?
P12, yeah.
Yeah, and he's definitely got good pace. He just has been making mistakes, but I think he'll finally get himself together.
Remember, we've got Sean...
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to say Gary Lennon. Starting in 11th, he's kept his calm. He hasn't made any mistakes of his own. His driving's extremely smooth in dry conditions. So I think if it is raining, his driving will be just as smooth. I think I'm serious. I'm going to say Lennon. I really will.
Going to stick with your theory of a race 2 resurgence.
I know. I'm just going to say if Lennon wins this, then I am an absolute genius.
If you know what you know what, I don't say I will do this if this happens a lot, but I will go downstairs into my kitchen and drink a Turkish Delight hot chocolate, if you are correct.
Okay, I've got that recorded.
Okay.
Nah.
I must say that it's thing for me if Gary Lennon wins, because I love Turkish Delight hot chocolates, actually.
Oh, you should have said something
Really,
like you should have like stuck your head in a toilet bowl or something.
No, well that would just be silly of me. That would be putting myself in danger.
Oh, so instead of putting yourself in danger, like as a dare sort of thing, you're just going to put yourself in sort of like you know, pleasure.
Yeah.
Huh.
And why not? I think also actually another interesting point to watch out for is Sean Stroud, because he's starting P24. His start again in race 1 was absolutely amazing from P5 to P2 before turn 1, but his car has looked so unstable, and of course he's got that tyre overheating problem. So I'm sure he can do a bit of setup change between race 1 and race 2, so during this time I'm sure he'll be doing a couple of changes to try and help out the tyres, and of course if it's wet weather, that will automatically cool down the tyres, so there's everything to say that he can have a resurgence, but I fear for Sean this round. I mean, he was P3 going into it, I don't think he'll be P3 going out.
So even though Hardwick had quite a poor performance, he is still leading the championship. But if he has another poor performance, you know, there is, you know, Alex Cooper, you know, who's right there.
Parker and Casser, actually.
And yeah, Casper with his wins, he is there. You know, he might have missed the first 2 races of the season, but with what is it? Is there 16 races in the season, 8 rounds, or is it 10 rounds?
I think it's going to be 20 races.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, so, you know, let's say 16 or 20 races in the season, 2 races isn't actually that much. Especially with the performances that he's been showing so far.
What I'm going to say is, looking at the constructors as well, I reckon Midnight are going to have probably overtaken Milk Racing by the end of tonight. Because Gilmore looks on it. And that's the important thing. You know, it's very much been an Alonso Massa situation from Formula 1 in 2010 and 2011 with the Cooper-Gilmore situation. Cooper, very much with the Alonso, has kept on scoring those good points position, which sees him in the position which he's in the championship. But Gilmore, we know he's got the pace, and we know he's got the ability to do something really special, but he's just never been able to show it to its full extent until Hungary 2 weeks ago, when he took second in race 2. He's got 6 here from the back of the grid in race 1. And I'm sure that if he was able to do that in race 1, imagine what he can do in race 2. Theoretically, challenge for the lead.
Yeah, it is definitely possible.
Of course, there was all the issues ahead of him, but what's not to say that that won't happen again?
Something that I'm actually finding funny is that the actual pretty good pace that we're actually still seeing in this warm-up session. We got Cooper so far on a 46.1, which isn't actually that far off the Super Bowl laps we saw.
No, absolutely not.
You know, that would have put him in the midfield, about, you know, 12th to 15th position in qualifying, and, you know, this is rain, there's rain. Obviously, you've got to find that dry line, and if you have a smooth driving style, the more you can keep to that dry line.
We'll just have to wait and see. We do have a minute or so left. I must say, I'll have a quick word now about next round, because we're going to Monaco.
Oh, God.
As I said, we are currently stalking the career ladder, and it must be said that last year at Monaco, things didn't exactly go to plan.
Well, it wasn't like there was a massive crash and everything, was there?
No.
No.
There was just a massive crash.
Well, Monaco's one of Monaco's one of those tracks where you don't really have much attrition. You know, you don't have many crashes. No. It's really good for overtaking. And the driving there is always excellent.
Pole position's not key at all, is it? I mean, no. You could pretty much do a Gilmore here today and like come.
Well, I remember in 2001 when Coulthard was dying at the back after he did actually originally get pole position, but he started at the back after stalling, and he got to 5th position. You know, he didn't get held up by any really slow drivers for 40 odd laps, did he? He just got through the field very, very cleanly and had a really good result. Absolutely.
Right, so warm up.
Now that we're done with the sarcasm.
Yes, indeed. Sarcasm section over. Warm up is finished, and crucially, it finished not in the rain, so we might not have rain for the race. We're going to wait a minute or two for disconnectees to reconnect. We currently have 24 drivers in the server, so we've only got. Well, there's only one driver who hasn't returned. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone off the top of my head who hasn't been in.
I don't know. It is, I don't know.
Oh no! Gary Lennon's left the game.
Oh.
I think there was someone asking for a toilet break.
Can I please change my prediction?
Go on then.
I'll say. Oh, I'll go with what was I going to say earlier? I was going to say something before. Oh, that's for Hardwick. No, if Lennon's racing, I'll pick Lennon. If he isn't, I'll go with Hardwick. Okay.
You think Hardwick's going to go?
Actually, if Lennon's not racing, then does that mean that Jacobs is on pole?
No, I think that just means that Gary Lennon vacates his grid spot.
Oh, well, we'll find out. Okay.
Yeah, I think so, because we basically take the reverse grid from the finishing order of race 1. Gary Lennon was in that finishing order, so if he doesn't return to race again, then that'll purely move Hardwick up into. Oh, he's back.
No, that's it. I'm going with Lennon. He's back in it.
Okay, right. So we are just moving everyone back into position. We have lost someone, but I'm not sure who. Obviously, we'll sort it out when we get there.
It's the same, isn't it? We have 25 drivers.
Oh, we do have 25 drivers again. Excellent. Right, so they're all back, which is good stuff. And we're just going to wait for the drivers to go onto the grid. It is another dry race, though.
Oh, damn it.
Which is kind of a shame. I know, it's not good, so...
See,
right.
It would have been better to have rained this race and not the next round.
Ooh.
Rain at Monaco.
Let's not tease fate, shall we? Because otherwise things go more wrong there than we could ever dare to have a nightmare for. You know what? My words are getting boring. Let's go through the grid, shall we? So, Jordan Weeks leads us off on pole position for FA Racing, followed by a very eager Chris Williamson there for Woods.
And we have Neiman.
Yep, Neiman, that's right, sorry, for Target Racing. Not had the best of luck so far, but he is a quick driver, so could see a little resurgence from him there. Matt Clip in Royal Blue is currently 4th, with Jason Muscat in 5th for Epic Racing. Scott Sovic, Jordan Weeks' teammate there, is in 6th, so possibly a good chance here for FA to score some decent points. Ben Warren starting in P7, I think that's where he started last race, as a matter of fact, so consistency for Warren. Jake Cooper will start P8 for Infinity Esports Racing, with Morton Burnson for Royal Blue in P9. And Dale Carrick rounds out the top 10 in Drake Racing. Then we have Tom Parker for Simic starting P11, with Gary Lennon for Roxal in P12. Oscar Hardwick will start in P13 for Milk Racing, with Ryan Gilmore in P14. Bart the Boss will start P15 with Gaspers in 16. Schroten in 17. Cooper in 18, and last race winner Petakasa will start P19. The man who nearly got pole position, Thomas Jacobs, is starting P20 with Havel Luknowski for Innovision in P21. Demil Misa for Woods is starting in P22 with Aaron Shergill in P23. The Rocket Man himself, Sean Stroud, is starting P24. Has he made any changes, and can he have a bit of a revival here? We will have to wait and see. He will start on the penultimate spot on the grid. The last spot is taken up by Miles Dixon, amazingly the only retirement from last race. Hopefully he'll be able to get himself up into the points after what was a very unlucky exit from the first race here at the Circuit de Catalunya.
Ow! That was a bad time to get cramp.
Calm yourself, sir. We have Jordan Weeks just around the final corner. I must say, I've got through that grid much quicker than last time, so we're going to have a little wait now as everyone starts doing their burnout. I must say, I've realised in recent weeks how crucial, even in sim racing, the warm-up lap is, because obviously you don't want to go around it too fast, because otherwise you're not going to heat up your tyres and get all your procedures done and dusted. Also, you don't want to go around it too slow, because then people get annoyed with you. So, everyone seems to have gone round okay. Hopefully everyone's tyres will be nice and up to temperature.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's now on the grid? Just about
Miles Dixon and Stroud are just getting into place, which they are now in. And so...
Oh, I just got extremely
the lights.
dark.
We're going for the lights. And here at the Circuit de Catalunya, we are racing. And Jordan Weeks is off to a terrible start. Bogging down, he's going to get absolutely mugged. Leaving him through on the inside. Williamson out on the outside. And yeah, that was not a good start, but Weeks seems to be holding strong with Williamson. He's not got the middle gears to be able to do anything. And look at Jason Muscat up into P4. We go to turn one and all. Williamson diving down on the inside, just having a look back to see whether everyone's getting through okay.
They are.
Much better. Much better. So everyone getting through. Oh, and Aaron Shergill's gone. So we've got a retirement, unfortunately. But there we go.
Is that for United Racers?
That is United Racers.
No, he's dying from the pits.
Yeah, no, he's left the game.
Oh. Well, he was dying from the pits. Anyway.
He was. Okay, oh, what's that? It's Williamson. Oh, Williamson's getting absolutely mugged. Oh, my goodness, been a Stroud! A Stroud and a ton of people!
I think there might have been Gaspers in the wall as well.
Oh, yeah, Gaspers is in the wall. Ben Warren was involved. DeVos, I think, was involved.
Yeah, it's one
and
of
I'm
the
not sure who started off. Oh, and Cooper was involved as well. That's a huge amount of people.
Which Cooper? There are two Coopers, isn't
there? Alex Cooper.
Okay. And Hardwick. Is that Hardwick in fourth? Yes, it is. Wow.
What? It is?
Yeah. Okay, so just to let you know, I definitely predicted Oscar Hardwick at the start of the race.
Right, so this is really close stuff. Ari Neiman currently leading from Jordan Weeks. Jason Muscat trying to defend off Hardwick and just about does it, but Hardwick is looking really racy. He sniffs the lead. He's not too far off, and he's going to go for it all the way. Matt Cliff is still in P5 with Jake Cooper in P6, and those two are rubbing bumpers. Tom Parker then in the background in P7. Also looking for a good result with Ryan Gilmore P8, Morton Burnson P9, Chris Williamson starting P2.
Oh,
he currently runs out the top 10.
That's Carter. Sovic and Carson went wide there, just into the chicane.
And look at Thomas Jacobs there. Thomas Jacobs is up into the points. Unbelievable stuff. So Thomas Jacobs on his debut up into the points. We'll have to see how he does when he's got a right gaggle of cars behind him. In the form of Gary Lennon, Sean Stroud, Bart DeVos, Dimitri Demilmeester, and indeed Bart and Hamilton Rossi there as well.
We've got three wide into turn one. Matt Clip, Parker, and Cooper in contact.
Gilmore had a bit of a worry. There's Sean Stroud surrounded again. Oh, he's not sorted that car out whatsoever.
Wait, was that contact between one of the Innovisions? I think it might have been, because one of the Innovisions was off. Or maybe he just had to take a ball. Oh no, Stroud has braked far too late into turn one. And when I mean far too late, he's taken out Carter.
Oh, and Petter Carter.
He's taken out Carter. He's taken out Petter Carter.
Oh dearie me, Petter Carter's not going to be happy at all. Sean Stroud really not doing himself any favours here today. Looking up back at the front, Harry Neiman not exactly putting away.
Oh, Sovic and Gilmore. Two cars that both spun simultaneously. They get back on the way. And Thomas Jacobs is up into, what is that, 12th position now?
P13, Thomas Jacobs is
But he was almost in 12th.
He's being ganged up by the Innovision cars, though. The boss around the outside of that corner. Unbelievable stuff.
I really think we should look more at the front. So we have...
okay. Yeah, we've got Ari Neiman, and look, Oscar Hardwick, he's going through on the inside of Jordan Weeks, and he's through up into P2 for Hardwick, and as I said, Neiman has not been able to get away from this battle so far. Oscar Hardwick really could be looking at a race win here if he gets his act together. Jason Muscat, look at him in P4 for Epic Racing, great job there. Jake Cooper in P5, another great effort. Morton Bernison P6, Roy Schroten P7, Matt Clip P8. Tom Parker P9, and Carrick rounds out the top 10, they're only just ahead of Chris Williamson.
Well, yeah, that's going rather well there for Woods Racing there. That should be one of their best results so far. Oh, sorry, one of the Civics, and is that Clip and Parker. Clip and Parker And look at just ahead, there's actually exactly the same team battle.
I think we need to have a look up at the front. This is a really, really close battle for first, second, and third. Jason Muscat's being left for dead a bit now as Harry Neiman and Hardwick and Weeks start to pull away. Hardwick trying to look and Miles Dixon has gone then. He's retired our second time of the day, and Hardwick steams through. Can Neiman hold on? Just about. Good defensive driving there from Neiman, but look at Weeks and Muscat. This has allowed them more chances to get involved, and as Hardwick tries to look for ways to get past, Weeks and Muscat will be hoping that something goes horribly wrong. They are both in with a chance to win this race as much as Hardwick and Neiman here.
Yeah, so Hardwick, he is really pushing, but the defending here from Harry Neiman has been absolutely exquisite so far, and I bet you, as just as I say that, he'll end up crashing into the wall disastrously.
Yeah, well, he's just about holding on now. Oscar Hardwick looks to the right, Jordan Weeks looks to the right as well, he pulls back in, and here comes Oscar Hardwick steaming through, and that is job done. He pushes Neiman out wide, and Oscar Hardwick goes up into the lead of this race.
So yeah, as long as he can just keep his head cool, not make mistakes, I really can't see anyone challenge him. Jordan Weeks is quick, but he's just not near the actual pace of Hardwick. He's at least
point. He's got to get past. He's got to get past Neiman first as well.
Yeah, and Neiman just hasn't got as good of an exit than Hardwick out of that chicane. So Hardwick should be safe in the turn 1 and for the rest of the race, unless someone can actually challenge him other than Neiman.
Right. So currently, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, look a bit further back, we have Williamson and one of the Inner Visions. Is that DeVos?
That's DeVos indeed. DeVos is looking up the inside of Williamson there. This is for P11 and P12. DeVos is through on the straight and should have him nice and easily into turn 1. Yep, that is a nice, easy piece of take.
Oh my god, 5, we have a 6 car battle here behind. Demoulimisa, Jacobs, we have, Demoulimisa spun.
Oh, again. He has indeed. And oh dearie me, that's not great driving there.
Sean Stroud is up into 19th position now.
Looking at Jacobs, Alex Cooper's actually back up into 14th himself. So the Midnight Driver making his way through his teammate.
Big crash! Demoulimisa spun again in front of Sovic this time. I think Sovic managed to at least avoid or didn't really pick up much damage. So Demoulimisa now right at the back of the current drivers. Neiman though, in second position, trying to hold up Weeks as Weeks hit the curb a bit and lost a bit of momentum going into the fast right-hander.
Now a second behind Hardwick is Neiman and really providing a bottle cork effect here. Muscat, once again, he seems to be keeping up with these two, but not so much making any moves. As Hardwick locks up there. Weeks, look at the inside, and Neiman's gone very wide. Can Weeks go through? Oh, it's side by side going, it's got a little bit of contact, and Neiman is pushed out onto the grass. And that's allowed Jason Muscat through. Really opportunistic move from the Epic Racing driver. As long as and there's further contact. And Neiman, well,
that was a bit naughty.
He
did turn into Muscat there.
But that's allowed Weeks through. And so presumably Weeks will start to pull away. I'm just wondering what effect Muscat can have on this race. He's going to be in the slipstream of Neiman, more so than Neiman in Weeks. And Muscat's catching, he's catching, he looks out to the right. He
should have got more of a slipstream
again though.
He should have got more of a slipstream without, before going out like that. He didn't really have much of a slipstream when he pulled out.
I am wondering whether Muscat's thinking along the same lines as Gasper's here. You know, Epic Racing has not been, I don't think it's even squad points until Muscat came along for this race. So a 4th position for them will be absolutely astounding. And I'm just wondering whether he wants to be a bit more conservative than aggressive. You know, a podium's nice and all that, but when you got 4th place and big team points in the bag here, you know, you're going to be thinking, well, this is possibly a chance for you to impress the bosses.
Got a car in the wall. No, it's Verneson, who was in 8th position, is now back down to about 12th or 13th position behind Gary Lennon. Gary Lennon had a very poor start, and he's lost quite a few positions, and he's now currently fighting with Matt Clip and Bart DeVos, and Gasper's also ahead. No, sorry, Carrick, sorry. So yeah, Carrick's leading this 4-car train, even though it's sort of split up into 2 groups.
Let's have a look at Gary Lennon. He's going to look on the inside of Matt Clip into this corner. Not the best idea. Yeah, the man looks to have the speed, and well, he got up into 8th last race from 11th. I'm wondering whether he can do the same thing here. He's a bit behind Clip as we enter this tight left-hander, but he's going to make the move anyway. And well, good job there from Lennon. Came from quite a way back, but he is up into the top 10. Great move from the Roxal driver.
Yeah, just looking further up, and we have Muscat's finally dropping back from the top group. Neiman hasn't lost too much time to Weeks after the contact. Hardwick doesn't seem to be actually gaining as much of a gap as we thought he might on Weeks.
Well,
Let's see what the gap is.
He's 2.1 seconds ahead.
Oh, so he's only gained 4/10 this lap, as it's now 2.4. It was 2.0 at the start of this lap.
Indeed. So, just having a further look back, Roy Schroten currently in 5th. Good stuff from him there. Jake, Carrick. Oh, yeah,
Carrick and DeVos. DeVos has overtaken Carrick there for 8th position, and Carrick back on the inside.
Oh, he's lost it.
And Lennon takes the position there. And we also have the Bernison and Clip.
Royal Blue Racing having a bit of an inter-team scrap here, along with
Alex
Cooper. So this is going to be a battle we should have a look to see whether this kicks off anytime soon. Cooper cleared the pass to drive, and he looks on the inside of Matt Clip into turn 4, but nothing doing there. Bernison holding on to the back of Carrick himself, though. This 4-car trainer, look at Alex Cooper! He's gone on the inside of turn 4 after not being able to get past. He's going to try around the outside of turn 5.
He's made it stick.
Wow! Great driving there from Alex Cooper up into P12.
Yeah, good from Alex Cooper to get it all back. And well, a bit squirrely there from Thomas Jacobson and Ben Warren there out of turn 5.
Yeah, Thomas Jacobs falling back now. He's down into P19, but commendable effort. He was in the points.
Sorry, got battle and sorry. Yeah, Schroten. Is that Schroten who's got overtaken?
No, Schroten. Yeah, Schroten has overtaken Muscat for P4 and 5. So
just watching on the replay. So Muscat's got quite a poor run out of the fast right-hander, and Schroten's just zoomed past him and braked a bit later into the hairpin. Yeah, he got side by side, braked later, and simply does it.
Roy Schroten's going off into the distance as well, and now Muscat's got, unbelievably, Jake Cooper to watch out now. The Englishman's had a really good first half of the race here for Infinity Esports, and his car looking actually a bit more solid than it was before. He's pulled out into cleaner air, I think, or something along those lines. But yeah, the car looking much more solid now. As Tom Parker goes wide over the sleeping policeman for P7. Bart DeVos seems to be putting a bit of pressure on him. Gary Lennon currently P9. And then we have got the...
Harrick, Bernison and Cooper.
Yeah. Big battle there. Cooper really onto the back of Bernison. Let's see whether he can do the same on Bernison as he did to Bernison's teammate, Matt Clip. I think he's a bit far behind to do anything.
Oh, got a big battle behind. This is one
yeah.
of the final point positions, this is Williamson, Loknowski, Gaspers and Peter Kassa, and Williamson runs wide. He loses position to Kassa, and Kassa might even get past Loknowski for 14th position here. Let's see.
He's going to have to try and do it around the outside.
And he's made it stick. He's got that.
Oh, no he hasn't. Lockie's still on the inside. And into the next corner, which is not exactly an overtaking opportunity, I think. Yep, Loknowski just about going to hold it. But look at Kassa. He's still sticking his nose in, and oh, no! Round goes Loknowski, and that was, I'm pretty sure that was Kassa tapping the rear end. And, well, Kassa continues on his merry way. I think there might be a bit of answering to do. And, oh, what's happened to Jake Cooper? Jake Cooper's had a bit of an off, and he's down to P8, and Gary Lennon is right on the back of him now. So Gary Lennon hassling the back of P8.
Yeah, I'm just watching on replay. Just in the hairpin. Damn it. That's Bernison or Clip who's gone off.
Bernison.
Yeah, and he's actually now fallen behind Clip. But he's still ahead of Kassa, who's in 14th position. Williamson and Gaspers are fighting for the final point position. And I wouldn't be surprised. So Williamson, who started
P2.
He started P2, and now he's going to be out of the points. The halfway mark, and that's Clip in the wall. Clip or Bernison. It is. It's Clip. So both of them have just lost control in that final sector, which now means that Gaspers actually in the points, and it's Gilmore who's 16th. Gaspers going to make that 14th now as he goes overtaking Williamson. No, it's good defending there from the Woods Racing driver as he keeps his call into turn 1, and not too bad in turn 2 either.
Right, so quick review of the top 10. We've got Oscar Hardwick leading now by 2.4 seconds from Jordan Weeks, who's a further 2 seconds ahead of Ari Neeman, and Roy Schroten's in P4 with Jason Muscat P5. Parker's up into P6, just ahead of Bart DeVos for Innovision. Jake Cooper just holding off Gary Lennon for 8th and 9th. Dale Carrick rounds out the top 10, but maybe not for long. Alex Cooper looking on the inside of him here, and he's going to stick his nose in where it doesn't belong at all. Just about held on from Carrick, but Cooper's really hassling to back your retirement so far. Aaron Shergill, Miles Dixon and Sean Strauss has also retired with suspension damage.
Third back we have Oh, so Williamson's now going to be behind Gilmore, so Gilmore's now finally picking up a point. After some problems in the opening lap, he's finally getting his way back. Been a bit consistent since then, actually.
Yeah, it's he's really not looking good. I think there's possibly damage to that car, and once again, Gilmore showing, inconsistency. A good result in race 1 followed up by a poor result in race 2. And what's happened to Scott Sovic? He's getting mugged by Matt Cliff and Pavel Loknoski down in 21st and 22nd. But that's not the battle we're interested in at the moment. The battle we are interested in is the battle for 5, 6, and indeed 7. Muscat v Parker and the boss. Parker looks to the inside of turn 1 and outbrakes himself massively, and through will go Bart the boss, the simming driver. Far too much power going into
Cooper can't get past
there.
though, so he's rejoined in 7th position ahead of Cooper and Lennon. Yeah, he's behind the 2 people he was fighting with before. He hasn't really lost too much. He's very good save though.
Oh, and look at Carrick. He's run wide. This might allow Cooper, Alex of the Alex variety, I should say, to the top 10. But no, Carrick's still able to hold on. Really impressive driving here from Carrick, actually.
And he just
for so long, but Cooper's got the inside line.
Yeah.
Yep. And Cooper is
that,
through nice and easy.
That was a pretty bad jinx there from yourself there, James.
I'm sorry, Carrick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Buy him a bit. Oh, and that's Gilmore on the inside of Verneson. Fighting also with Gaspers.
Verneson holds it though, and Verneson is going to stay up into. He's going to stay in P14, amazingly. Going to be an interesting battle here for the final points position between Gaspers, Verneson, and Gilmore. All fighting for small points. And what's happened to Muscat? Muscat's fallen down to P10.
I'll watch the replay. Oh, is that contact? Let's see. In the fast right-hander. Oh, he's been tapped at the exit of the fast right-hander by DeVos.
Oh dear.
And he's just had a slight tap at the wall. Oh no, DeVos has waited for him. So DeVos, Ali has now dropped behind Muscat. So, well, at least it's fair driving. At least, even though.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily make a right, but it's good to know.
So that leaves Tom Park in P5. It's Simic 4-5 at the moment. Great result for them so far. Jake Cooper, good result in P6. He's currently fending off Gary Lennon in P7. Alex Cooper now up into P8, and then of course you've got this battle between P9 and P10. Dale Carrick going around the outside of Jason Muscat. He holds on just about. But he's gone wide, and Muscat. Oh, lovely switch back there from Muscat. He's up into P9.
And DeVos takes advantage as well and overtakes Carrick. Bit of contact, but that was fair, I'd say.
Fair play. It's a bit of paint rubbing.
Cass come out of nowhere, and now he's in 12th. So after being right at the back at the opening lap after sorry, not the opening lap. Yeah, no, sorry, it was when Stroud took him out at turn 1 on lap 2, I believe. Oh,
Jay Cooper. Well,
he spoke too soon. Yep, he really did.
He's gone again, and that leaves Gary Lennon up into P6, Alex Cooper P7, Jason Muscat P8, the boss P9, and Dale Carrick P10, though I doubt not for long, as look at DeVos, he's going through on Muscat. And that's, well, good job, but can Muscat get...
Oh,
take him around the outside?
Cass has overtaken Carrick, and look at this. Oh, and he's just gone around the outside. Muscat has kept it around the outside of DeVos.
Great defensive driving here from Muscat. He's made a couple of mistakes, but it's still a good points position for Epic Racing. But DeVos, well, that was easy pickings for him down the straight. And he's once again, but oh my God, look at Muscat. He's still trying to defend it, but no, nothing doing there.
Yeah, he didn't have enough of an overlap.
No, and now Muscat's got to worry about Petacasa behind him. Great 4-car train here, fighting in and amongst the bottom of the top 10, and just outside the top 10, indeed, with Dale Carrick there on the outside. But Jason Muscat really starting to struggle now. You can see the gap already caused or created by DeVos.
This really does symbolise this type of racing, this sort of touring car style racing. You've got 4 different teams, 4 different drivers of different abilities, and they're all here having a great battle. And, you know, attacking, swapping positions, defending, absolutely superb driving from all 4, even though DeVos has got away slightly. And look at that still, look at that. Casso is not able to overtake Muscat yet. So
interesting development. Oh, go on, sorry.
So yeah, even though he's much faster, he just isn't able to overtake. You wouldn't really see this as much in open wheel racing.
Interesting development up front. Roy Schroten is once again into the podium positions. He's having a real storm of a race, is Schroten. And I just had someone crashing there, I think, actually. Not sure who it was. Either way.
Well, Cass has now moved himself into 9th position ahead of Muscat, finally.
He has, yeah. Muscat finally falling back. And oh, it's Jake Cooper who had a crash. And I think that might be game over for the Infinity driver, as he's not making any effort to try and get out of the gravel which he's stuck in.
In the last few laps, Alex Cooper's been catching up Gary Lennon here. And look, he's really on the back of him now after Lennon sort of struggled there in the fast right-hander, as I call it. I always call it the fast right-hander. I don't give it any other name except for the fast right-hander. It's like, do you know the fast right-hander at Spain? Yes, I do. Okay.
Oh, and okay, so yeah, interesting position here for Alex Cooper. He could be doing a similar feat to what his teammate Ryan Gilmore did last race, coming up from the back to try and get a good position. Gary Lennon almost four-wheel drifting it round that corner as he head into, well, we're going to be on lap 12 or 14. Goodness me, this race has flown by. Cooper's teammate Ryan Gilmore's currently P13, hassling the back of David Gaspers for P12, so still points to be had here.
Oh, and
both of my boys.
Carrick has lost control, the chicane. He was fighting with Muscat. And what's happened here? Has he tapped the back of Muscat? No, he just lost control.
And Alex Cooper's gone through on Lennon, by the way.
Okay. Oh.
So,
yeah, sorry. Gaspers and Gilmore are fighting now for 12. Gilmore's lost control, so he's not fighting with him anymore. Verneson waves to him as he goes past.
Ben Warren as well.
So does Warren. And now that put Gilmore in 50th
back
position.
to a single point, yeah. The next man down the road is Chris Williamson, the guy who started on the front row, outside of the points, unfortunately, so... There we go, and yeah, Jay Cooper finally confirming what we thought a lap ago. He has retired from this race, so that brings us up to 4 retirements in total. Amazingly, I'm surprised it's 4 times the amount we had compared to last race. So, quick review up at the front. Hardwick just entering sector 3 is 3.7 ahead of Jordan Weeks. Roy Schroten is only 7/10 ahead of Neiman and in 3rd position and 4th position there. And Neiman will be, hopefully you'll be able to flare at the battle for the final place on the podium in the next couple of laps. Tom Parker, P5 with Alex Cooper P6. Gary Lennon P7, Bart DeVos P8, Petter Karsa P9. He's on a charge back through the field. Will he be able to catch DeVos before the end of the race? And Jason Muscat, Dylan P10 as the 2 Drake Racing drivers behind, scrapping it out for P11 and P12. Great battling here from the 2 Welsh squad teammates.
Yeah, no team orders here, it seems. No multi-21.
No, well, Gasper's certainly the faster driver and he's ahead at the moment, but Carrick has really actually put in a great performance. Good defensive driving from the lads, and I've been really impressed. He might not have the pace to go slightly wide there. I should just stop commentating.
Oh, sorry, we've got Warren and Gilmore here fighting for 14th position.
And
so Gilmore now got 2 points. 2 points for Gilmore.
Excellent.
Better than 1.
It certainly is.
That's, that's a 100% increase.
Just looking in the background, yeah, those are unimportant positions. Right, so we are on lap. Sorry, I'm just trying to look for where the most important battle is because we're on the penultimate lap at the moment. It's really down to the wire, and yeah, let's have a little look at Bart DeVos and Petter Kassa, and Pavel Loknovsky has left the game as well. So we're down, we're up to 5 retirements. Unbelievable stuff. Okay, so I digress. P8, Bart DeVos is currently holding off Petter Kassa, who is really starting to catch up to the back of the Belgian at the moment. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move in the next couple of corners. He looks like he's really hooked up, and it was just an early incident which really damaged his race chances here today.
Well, yeah, just this is one thing with these short races. It does mean that if you do have a mistake early on, or you're involved in an incident, it means that you probably can't make your way up as much as you can in like a 50 lap race around here, especially with pit stops and a higher chance of rain. But Cass has done a very good job to make his way up. He's had to fight against some very good defensive drivers, and I've been very impressed by the driving that we've seen around Petter Kassa since he's been making his way through.
Must be said, Gary Lennon had a bit of a tardy exit off the chicane, but let's have a look at what Kassa can do on DeVos as we cross the line. It's the final lap. Can Kassa make a move on the inside? He's tucked up into the slipstream. He moves out to the right now. It's going to be last of the late breakers. Kassa can't stick it in there for the moment, but look at Gary Lennon. He's really slowed down after the tardy exit, and well, this could turn out into a 3-place battle for 7th, 8th and 9th on the final lap, and Petter Kassa goes wide. And he just about holds it in there, but this is still all to play for. DeVos now looking on the offensive of Gary Lennon. He's been doing really well so far to hold P7, but for how long can he last?
Well, oh, not anymore. Lennon's off. Lennon's lost control. And that's DeVos who just somehow lost control under braking. And Lennon's now losing the position to Kasser, it seems.
Oh, and look at Kasser. He's going to go on the inside of Lennon. Oh,
no, he
he's
isn't.
up on the inside. Lennon tries to hold around the outside. Good defense there from Lennon. But yeah, bizarre.
So yeah, now where is the leader on track?
Oscar Hardwick's just entering the final section, and Ben Warren has gone. We're up to 6 retirements. And
he was running in the point position.
Thomas Jacobs is one position from scoring a point.
Right,
but anyway,
got to get back to the front now, because Oscar Hardwick is at the final corner to take a win. It wasn't the best race for him in race 1, but he's got it all back together with an absolutely superb win for him and the Milk Racing team.
P13 to P1, excellent result there.
And Jordan Weeks
started on pole, finished second. I think he'll be very happy with that, as will Roy Schroten, 2 third positions in one evening.
I believe that's his 3rd podium since Hungary.
Yeah, as I said, that world, well, either way, that World GT race earlier on at Red Bull Ring has really boosted his confidence. I tell you that now. Tom Parker finishes P5. Good job from him there. Ari Neiman was 4th, by the way. Alex Cooper finishes 6th overall, doing a Gilmore from last race. Gary Lennon actually managed to hold on to Peter Carser.
Nice.
In P7. Carser P8. Bart DeVos P9. And Jason Muscat does get P10. Good job from the Epic Racing driver there. David Gasper's P11, holding off Dale Carrick. So good double points finish there for Drake Racing. Morton Burnson, P13 for Royal Blue. Ryan Gilmore, 2 points at midnight. Scott So P15 and Thomas Jacob on debut. I think 16th is highly commendable given that he had only 1 hour of practice, a point almost on his debut.
You do seem a bit biased today, to be fair.
You know, I don't care, because to be fair, to be absolutely, you know, I'm not sure whether other people have only had 1 hour of practice, but generally, when you only have 1 hour of practice, to get a decent result like that deserves to be commended, and I don't care whether I'm teammates with him or not, he got P16. That's a great result, and of course, we had unbelievably 6 retirements this race. Ben Warren, Paul Luknowski, Jake Cooper, Sean Stroud, Miles Dixon, and Aaron Shergill all losing out there. So, what an evening of racing that was. Madness in race 1, followed by great racing, more retirements in race 2.
And now we can actually talk to some of the drivers.
Hopefully. Just receiving them now. Let me just open my TeamSpeak. So we've actually got... Alrighty then. So with us for interviews we have Race 1 winner Peter Carser, Race 2 winner Oscar Hardwick, Ryan Gilmore, who finished 6th in Race 1 and 14th in Race 2, and Tom Parker, who had yet again another solid points position finish in both races. So let's start with Peter, if we will. Absolutely dominant performance in race 1 yet again, after and again, you know, a dominant qualifying session. Race 2, not so good. You got caught up in an incident, we believe, and not finishing as well as you would have hoped behind Gary Lennon. But can you just describe, you know, I mean, obviously it's another win to add to your collection. Do you consider yourself a real threat to the championship this year?
It depends on the second races, actually. If you're just not having any bad luck in the second races, then for sure it's possible to get for a championship, but yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. Too much that can happen in the second races, so.
Obviously we're heading to Monaco next. Is that a track that you're confident you can get pole position on, or is it not your favourite?
It's actually one of my favorite tracks, so...
Oh, lovely!
Of course I'm going for a... hopefully a pole and at least a podium again, so...
Everyone should watch out then. Let's, on that note, go to Oscar Hardwick. We believe that you are still championship leader after that race. After those 2 races, I should say. But you've got a good lot of competition behind you. You know, Alex Cooper did pretty well today, getting second and sixth. One of your competitors, Sean Stroud, actually had a real nightmare. But the likes of Tom Parker, who are consistently scoring, Petter Kasa with his raw speed, do you feel that you'll be able to hold on for the rest of the season?
Well, I definitely feel as though I got lucky today. I mean, my mental maths is no good, but I think I've actually managed to pull away from everyone who is a challenger at the moment. And I'm not sure on... I think Roy probably actually scored the best points overall this round, but I'll be close second or third. So pulling away, again, I know Pettis obviously missed round one, but you've still got to be pulling away from him every race if you want to keep yourself in a safe position. So... It was alright. The winning race 2 was a nice surprise. I got the start absolutely nailed, but race 1 was a farce, and you know, there's some people that couldn't keep their car on the road. Some people putting me round, and then, you know, my own frustration got the better of me on more than one occasion and put me in worse places than I should have been. Probably could have fought for 6th or maybe even 5th that one, but just wasn't to be.
Well, if you have been wrong done, hopefully the system, in terms of penalties, will do what it's designed for, and presume that we'll be very busy next race, Bradley, informing the viewers of what has happened in that respect. But let's focus on the positives, and let's go now to Ryan Gilmore, P6 in race 1 from the back of the grid. That's pretty impressive, good sir.
I love that start. I'm not going to lie about it. I asked the race director for our target. He said 10 positions. I thought it meant 10th position overall by the end of lap 1. So I had to make a last-minute dive into the final corner and ask her just to make sure I did it.
But of course, race 2, you found yourself down in 14. It's becoming a bit of a pattern now, where you seem to do well in one race, but then you're inconsistent in the other. Are you working on that, or do you think it's just pure bad luck that this is happening to you?
No, I'm not putting the time behind the scenes. Consistency is usually one of my best things, but even in the FC series, I'm not having enough time to get practicing. So if I can find the time, then by all means, the consistency will come back.
Fair enough. Right, let's move on. Yeah, I think we'll have a Simink interview here, because we actually have Roy Schroten and Tom Parker in the room. So I did say at the start of the broadcast that I did think that both of you were going to have a pretty good race here, because Roy obviously got 4th in qualifying, Tom in the top 10 as well, and you've both scored really well. 2 top 10s for Tom. Roy Schroten, we believe, is the best scorer overall this round with 2 third positions. What has happened to you two? You just seem to have flown off here at the Circuit de Catalunya.
Roy, you can answer first.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed tonight. In the qualification, I managed to put it on 4. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And Tom back to 7th. That's good for him as well. And then in race 1, I had some fun fighting and managed to get to the podium. The car didn't feel really good in the first few laps, but I managed to keep it on the 3rd place. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then in race 2, I had much luck for once, because in the other rounds I crashed all the time. So yeah, I'm really happy with this.
And Tom, more consistent points finishes. You're really keeping yourself in the championship by these point scores, and I think that both of your efforts today certainly will have helped Simink. I believe that with CSG's really poor performance today, you actually will have probably overtaken them for 3rd in the championship.
Yeah, it's nice to know that Simink are doing well, but that was a bullshit race on my opinion, on my half. I really probably could have got 2 podiums if it wasn't for all the stupid crap that happened. I got turned around in turn 1.
Bridge, please.
I got turned around in lap 1, turn 1 by Bart. Obviously it wasn't his fault, no room, but still it's a bit annoying. And I was up to about 5th then. And then race 2, not Alex Cooper, Jake Cooper got a bit wiggly and just half spanned me, and I lost a position to Roy and Bart, and that caused more issues. And then, so yeah, it's a case of I probably could have been a little bit higher today. I'm not very happy.
Well, I think it's quite clear that a few drivers are frustrated. But as I said, once again, you know, we'll just see what the admins say about it, and I think that's really all that we can say. You know, I think every driver has their day, every driver doesn't have their day, and we'll just have to see what happens for Monaco. And I think we'll end this interview session with Mr. Scott Sovic again. FA Racing must be pretty happy, it must be said, because Jordan Weeks obviously got second in race 2, and I think all of you scored points in both races. Am I right in saying?
Yes. Obviously, I don't know what Obviously, I don't know what Tema would be feeling right now because he's not here. But yeah, I think it's been a good weekend. Well, race 1 and race 2 for both of us. So I don't know really. It's a bit mixed for my part because I could have done a lot better in race 2 than I did with that 15th. There was an instance of contact with and I won't mention names now, but I'm not very happy.
I'm going to butt in because I've not really I haven't really interviewed anyone so far. But Scott, in race 1, especially the first half, we saw you battling with almost everybody. I remember at one point you was up to about 6th or 7th. And were you impressed by the driving that you were up against in race 1?
Yes, definitely. Of course, some drivers could have avoided a bit of contact here and there, but other than that, it was brilliant racing. I enjoyed myself a lot, and I think I could have stuck myself up there if I hadn't gotten that silly pop-up around lap 11.
It seems to be a night of mixed emotions for people, Bradley, and I can only hope that Monaco will bring better things. And I think we should be hopeful. Even though Monaco has this sort of dark shroud of well, there's going to be loads of accidents, perhaps we won't see that. Perhaps we'll see some absolutely fabulous racing once again.
Yeah, definitely possible. If everyone gives respect, everyone practices well enough, and we should see an absolute spectacle in 2 weeks' time.
And that's when you should rejoin us. If you're not there, I'll be very sad. Bradley will be very sad. Because we're heading to Monaco. We're heading around the streets. And the championship balance is certainly hanging. Will it be Petter Carser? Will it be Oscar Hardwick? Or will a new challenger arise to put their mark on the championship? Join us next time to find out. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.